Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Inside Out virtual tour with Alice. My name is Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts, and thank you so much for joining us. Hey, let's get straight into this because I can't wait to talk to this individual. So my guest this evening has been entertaining legions of fans for many years, from his appearances on Pawn Stars to his own hit television show Counting Cards on History, now in its 9th season, Wednesdays at 10 p.m., which is tonight. He is everyone's favorite brother man. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts virtual studio, Mr. Danny the Count Koker.
Mark, what's happening, brother? And thank you so much for having me on. I love the introduction. I am everybody's brother man. Come on. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. How are you doing down there?
Doing good, man. We're doing good. We're staying, reasonably busy during these crazy times. We're kind of running on a skeleton crew. Behind closed doors, things are pretty much locked down, but we're building cars, building bikes, been shooting a television show behind the scenes. And yeah, man, we're in season 9. It's rocking on the air as we speak.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, and how was it down in Vegas in terms of like for Counts Customs, your body shop and everything? Were you guys able to stay open or did you have to close for a period of time?
Well, it's been definitely interesting for us because, according to the rules, so to speak, by the governor and this and that, all the businesses had to shut down, everything had to close down. So I had to close my rock club, I had to close my tattoo shop, I had to close the recording studio. But ironically enough, an automotive repair shop is technically an essential business. So even though we did things like my showroom here is set up like a museum and I've got, tours and stuff like that, we had to close all that down. And we just kind of kept a small group of us and we closed our doors to the public. So we stayed safe. We stayed healthy. We made a pinky swear promise to everybody that we're coming to work and then going home and then coming back to work. So it's been a challenge on a skeleton crew to get everything built and to get all the shows shot, but we got it all done, man. And I'm at the shop right now as we speak, and things in Vegas are starting to open up again and getting rolling again. But it was definitely a challenge for quite a while.
Yeah, no, I can imagine because it sounds similar to what was going on here in Seattle that repair shops were essential so they could continue to work. But then it's like, well, how do you keep yourself safe? So then they had to furlough some employees and things of that nature, have that skeleton crew, listening to what the science is saying, listen to what the governor is saying. And when can we start to open up? So like in Seattle proper, they're in phase 1.5 right now.
Yeah, whatever that means. And and I get what a challenge this is, for our political leaders in be it mayors or governors or all the way up the food chain. I get what a challenge this has been because we haven't seen this before. So, the rules seem to change every day, but I understand why, because the numbers and the stats change every day. So it's a challenge, man. But for us, I've got amazing people that work at all the different Counts entities. And I'm looking forward to getting everybody back to work. The Rock Club is open, but it's opened strictly as a restaurant bar where we can't do live music at this point. My tattoo shop is legally allowed to open, but tragically, it's inside the Rio Hotel, which has not opened yet. So I can open, but I can't get in. There's challenges along the way. And here at Counts Customs, we're just now starting to open our doors a little bit to the public. So if you come to Vegas, you can take the tour. We're kind of doing more like, private guided tours types of things. So, we're playing it really safe here, but we're getting it open.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds like you're taking the right steps to eventually get where we all want to be, which is everything open and doing what we want to do and keep your businesses going.
That's right. Absolutely.
So let's talk about the 9th season because it just premiered last Wednesday, and obviously we're on another Wednesday, so we got a new episode tonight. Yep. And I know that you also, when the episodes are done, that people can go over to the YouTube channel of Counts Customs Network and see you talking more about the episode. Because I was doing that this morning, watching the one from last week's episode, the the part on YouTube when you're going in depth about the builds and some of the human interest stories. So that's really cool that you're connecting that multimedia kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So for, longevity is what everyone's always looking for from anything. Doesn't matter if it's a business, TV show, whatever your career.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think the show has resonated with fans for so long? I mean, for 9 seasons.
I think honestly, thank you for that question. It's a good question. Honestly, if I had to guess, I would say that most reality shows aren't real, and I think that for us, we keep it as real as a show can possibly be. We keep it very real, and I think that the audience sees that, can sense that, and they connect with it. So all of the clients that you see on the show, that's for real, and all of the builds that you see on the show, that's for real, and then all of the stories, behind the scenes stories that we really didn't know that was going to happen when we started doing this show. I mean, this is a show that builds, cool cars and cool motorcycles for people. We had no idea that there was going to be such a strong human interest behind it, and then when you start realizing the stories behind the vehicles, and there's a big connection with the audience. The audience relates to that. When you start talking about, this was my dad's car, or this was, my grandmother had one of these, or something like that. So many people connect with that. And so I just believe that the audience senses that it's very real, and they connect with the stories in one way or another. And we do our best here to make it fun and interesting. We try to show enough of the technical side of the build that feeds the car guys' mind, and then we try to keep it entertaining so everybody can have a good time along the way. And we're just blessed, frankly, that people have been enjoying it. And on top of it, right now, season 9 is airing, like you said, last Wednesday was the first episode. Tonight is the second episode. But we just signed the contracts with the network for season 10. So we're already working on more down the road. So we're just blessed.
Well, that's awesome news for everyone that's watching this right now. They just got a little bit of an inside scoop that we got more coming. That's awesome.
Amen. Absolutely, you're right, because nobody knows that yet. I mean, that's literally just happening right now. So that's a plus.
There we go. An Eclectic Arts exclusive.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Cool. One thing I was going to ask you about producing the show. So, like for fans, over the seasons, most of the episodes have been 30 minutes. At one point, you guys were doing hour-long episodes as well. But so we only see, like, here comes the person who owns the car. We hear about the story. In the middle, we hear, see you guys working on the car and what kind of problems you might be encountering. And then we see the reveal at the end in 30 minutes. But we know damn well that's not the timeline for these episodes. So how does that kind of work? Because you have to juggle so many different builds and timelines, and we need to shoot this and shoot that. And how do you manage all that stuff?
It's another great question, Mark. It's a crazy circle. It's an absolutely crazy circle. We've got, again, blessed with a magnificent production team, a great production crew that, my director, my field producer, the DP, the main camera guy, things like that, audio. These are all they've been with me since day one. Since day one, we haven't had a change. So it's amazing that we're all together. So they've really become part of the fabric here at the shop. I mean, because they're here every day. So also parts of the shop, a vehicle never has to leave. I've got a full mechanic shop here. I've got a full metal fab shop here. I've got a full upholstery shop, stereo shop, body shop, paint shop. Everything is here. So nothing leaves. So at any given time here in the shop, like say, for instance, right now, we've probably got 12 vehicles in the works. We're probably building 12 vehicles as far as cars or trucks are concerned, and probably building 3 or 4 motorcycles right now. So every day there is something going on in each department. So every day the production company, the production crew basically follows us around and follows the action every day. And whatever they shoot gets put on a shelf somewhere. So now a car that we started a year and a half ago finally gets into the done column, and then they dig out all the stuff along the way that happened and put together that episode. So it's really crazy how that happens, but because of the fact that the show does have the longevity and the crew is here every day, man, we're doing different vehicles every day. Stuff that maybe we started so long ago, you're going to see tonight, and stuff that we started today, you're probably going to see in a year. I mean, it's just nutty. And you're right. It's funny because and the shows now, they're all the new episodes are 1 hour eps, and it gives us opportunity to show a little more process, tell a little bit more of the story, but it's comedic because people think, wow, why does it take a year and a half or 2 years to build a car when I see you do it in an hour?
Oh my goodness. And as you were describing that process, so does that mean that your team, the production team there from History Channel, do they basically decide which builds are going to end up on TV? Do you have things that are built, like things on the side that maybe really quick or something that maybe wouldn't be good TV products? So you just do it for the customer and they're on their way?
Yes, there's definitely an element of that where there's quick things we do for somebody. It's not a complete build, and those rarely ever make it on the show. It's really I'm an executive producer on the show, so I work with the producers and I work with the director and everybody, and we pick what we feel, not only the vehicle that would be exciting to see, but also a good storyline that goes along with that vehicle. And sometimes we're really blessed with a great vehicle that has a great story and a great background, and that's like a no-brainer. So we kind of have like an A story, which is like the main story, and then we'll have like a B story, which will be like the secondary one in the show sometimes, and then sometimes we'll just throw in like a C story, just kind of a quick little thing that we did. But there's a lot of things that go on here at Counts Customs that you just don't see, and we try to give you the big ones too. I'll give you another inside poop here too, by the way, being the music guy that you are. Just spent, man, what was it? I don't know, maybe 10 days ago or something like that. Alice Cooper came here to the shop, spent the whole day with me, and he's got a 1963 Avanti that he brought to me that he absolutely loves, and we're doing it for Alice, and that will be on an upcoming episode.
Wow, that's freaking awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. And arguably one of the coolest guys you'd ever want to hang out with. I love that guy.
Yeah, and I've never met Alice. I haven't had that privilege, but every interview I've ever seen with him, he's so genuine and funny and down to earth. And yep. I know he loves to golf and all those kind of things.
Yep, absolutely.
I saw him on New Year's Eve here in Seattle. Gosh, that was maybe like 1986, 87. The Razor Fist and Yell tour.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, man. Cool cat. It'll be a fun build. It really will. It really will. We just took the car in, man, a week ago. I think it got here, and so we're just getting started on it. So that'll be a little bit down the road, but when you see it, it's going to be cool.
Cool. So I can think back to this interview that we're doing right now, and I think when that episode showed, they're like, "Oh yeah, that was way back then when he was talking about it."
Right. 2 scoops from Mark now. Come on, he's
awesome. Let's keep going. Let's get that third scoop. We'll make a banana split.
Absolutely, man. I like that.
So like we've talked, you have Counts Customs, you've got Counts Vamp, you've got Counts Tattoo Company, you've got Counts Desert Moon Production, you've got Counts 77, your band. How in the world do you manage all of that and still have a personal life? That's a lot of stuff on your plate. And like you said, you're an executive producer of your show, Counting Cars. So how do you find that balance?
Well, I tell you what, and this is the God's honest truth, is I have a wonderful team. If anybody ever looks at me and says, I don't know how that guy does it, it's because it's not that guy. There is an entire team that makes all of this work, and that is the real true blessing. I've got wonderful managers at all of the different companies, and then underneath them there's department heads that are underneath them, and then so it's a team effort. It's an honest to goodness team effort. And that's how it works. One guy can't do it. It's truly a team. It's truly a team. And under the Counts brand, yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's tattooing, there's recording studio, there's rock and rolling going on at the club. There's the band going on, and of course, building cars and bikes and doing a TV show. It's insane. But I've never been afraid to work. I'm a guy that's been working since I was a kid, since I was young. That's something that's been instilled with me as a work ethic and not afraid to work. But it's truly a team, and that's how it can all happen.
Well, that makes sense. I've talked to some other guests too. When I looked at their resumes, it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I barely do much around here, and I'm kind of like overwhelmed at times. And then I see other people like, holy crap, how the hell do they do all this stuff? And then, like you just said, it's a team. It's getting the right people, and when you find them, you keep them, you treat them well. Yeah. So don't let them go.
That's right.
And that
I got people that have been with me. I'm not kidding you. I got people that have been with me for over 20 years. That's what kind of a family this is here. And I've told people, for years, yes, I'm a car collector. I'm a motorcycle collector, but I'm also a collector of people. I collect really good people. And I'm so thankful to have my team. I cannot give the team enough props.
That's awesome. And there's actually like a parallel for me even being invited to this virtual tour with Alice, because they do everything DIY. So this whole thing that they put together, the light show, the audio, the streaming that we're doing right now, the design, the costumes, everything, and they're still being safe because they're all wearing masks during their performances. Yep. It's those guys putting things together and then being nice enough to invite me to be a part of this and trusting me enough that they didn't say, Mark, interview these kind of people. We only want musicians, or we only want, film people, or they said, no, have that. We want what you do. So I'm like, okay, well, you're going to get it then. I'm going to give you everything I got. Perfect. And that's also what's great, because I know you're a really great person. We go back to like 2012 when we did a phone interview. I actually have the picture that you autographed for me back then, right there.
I love it, man. I love it. All right.
Yeah. And then, like you said, 2 years ago, Count 77 made their way up to Snoqualmie, so I got to see you guys play live. So we did an interview, review, got to shoot the show. Yep. You guys were amazing.
I appreciate that, man. We had such a good time at that show. We were talking about that venue is one of the most beautiful venues we've ever played. That gorgeous outdoor stage is amazing, right there in those hills and the trees, the whole bit. And I remember that night, the weather was just perfect. It was beautiful outside. And we had a really fun, great, rock solid show. We got to hang out with Danny Bonaducci was there that night, hanging out with us. That was a really good time, man. That was a fun show. I hope we get to come back to Snoqualmie again and do it, because it was a blast.
Yes, that makes two of us. I hope you guys come back too. Yeah, one thing I also want to ask, kind of getting back to a little bit towards the show, is that because you're so popular, I mean, I was just looking at your Facebook page the other day, and it's like 2-point-something million likes and followers and stuff like that. You've obviously, Vegas being an international destination, people from all over the world want to come to Vegas. And we're talking like pre-pandemic, obviously not right now. But you must have tons of fans trying to come there. And like you mentioned, you have tours set up, but how does that work when if I'm speaking strictly as a fan? They might be, I'm going to go down to Vegas. Let's go to Count's Customs. Maybe we'll get a chance to see Danny. What are their odds of actually seeing you? Because you got so much going on, and they might see you sometime, but what's that percentage? 20% maybe?
Maybe that's a really legitimate question as well, because I am that guy who will more than happy give my time to the fans, when they're here, when we run into each other wherever. But like you said, doing so much and being so busy, I don't even know where I'm at half the time myself. And so I'm constantly doing things. But when my paths cross with the fans, man, it's let's hang out and chit chat for as long as I can. And here at the shop itself, my main showroom is all set up like a museum, and it's a free tour. I mean, just come on in, wander around, and check everything out. If we happen to run into each other, great. And many times on the weekends, if I'm not on the road, I'm at my club. I'm at Vamp. So, I'll wander in there to see, whatever's on the stage that night, see whoever's playing, see what kind of show is going on. and I might run into people there as well. So you kind of never know. It's a hit and miss with me because I don't even know either. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know where I'm at half the
time. Oh man. I remember, I just thought about something, that one of the bands from Washington has played your club, Problem Child, AC/DC tribute. They played there a couple times. Yeah. And I love those guys. And
they're great.
Yeah. Having a Bon Scott and a Brian Johnson singer, and, Ryan, who plays Angus, has got every like mannerism down to like a science of what Angus does. It's unbelievable. Yep. So, I just thought about that. Just kind of
they're a great band. As a matter of fact, I know they were scheduled to come back and play Vamped right when this whole thing hit, and so of course everything got canceled. But great band right there. Those guys are cool guys.
Yeah, cool. Let's see here. Let's talk about Count 77, since the pandemic's been going on, and I know you've got your rehearsal space, and I see, Stoney's been doing live streams and that kind of stuff. So is something percolating for a new album? What's going on with the band?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we are in the process of writing our third record right now. And I've been just for quite some time. And ironically enough, I do most of my writing when I'm on the road, because you got travel time. You're sitting in an airplane, or you're sitting in a hotel room or whatever. You know what I mean? So without the travel, I haven't been writing as much as I should. But I got a ton of material I've been writing as far as lyrically is concerned. Stoney's got a ton of material that he's been writing is concerned. And then Mike Varney, who is, of course, the record label, Shrapnel Records. He's our producer as well. He's the guy that stirs the pot. He takes all the elements, puts things together, and makes sense. So we are in the process right now of working on the third record. Yes, we do have our recording studio and rehearsal space, and we get together and jam when we can. And we're doing a fun thing right now. We're doing I can't say what it is just yet, but we're doing we're doing an old 70s cover tune, and we're going to be releasing that as a single, just to tie people over until this new record is done. So watch for that coming soon. Can't really say what it is yet, because it's so obscure, but so cool. You're gonna dig that. You're gonna dig that. But the band is doing great. Everybody is healthy, thank the good Lord above. And everybody is so ready to get back to rocking again, man. I mean, that's just a really important part to all of our lives, is to get out and rock. So we can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, here. I mean, just as someone who covers shows and just as a fan, I mean, live anything at this point is like you're just itching for it. And I know, like on the local level, that's what's going to happen first. So any local artists, like here in Seattle, you're going to be up first. You're on deck basically, because the touring bands can't get here yet. So take advantage of it. Get your stuff together right now, because maybe you're going to get that call in July, maybe August, that hey, you can play out in a park or someplace where you can still socially distance, but you can still rock out or something. Right. And you're going to have and you'll have no competition. That's unheard of. So,
right. Yeah. The small venues are going to do great during this reopening period until the big stuff starts happening. In 2020, so many huge tours were scheduled to happen, and of course, this happened. So now most everything is being put off to 2021. So maybe 2021 is going to be a monster, tour year for some huge bands out there.
Yeah, we can hope.
Cross your fingers.
For sure. One thing that I remembered from our conversation, it's amazing that I can remember anything from 8 years ago, but I'm turning 50 next week. So, I mean,
hey, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. You're a youngster.
Have you ever thought about either producing your own animated show or doing voiceover work for like a Pixar or a Disney thing? Because I can easily picture you talking. Maybe you're like this cool parrot in some animated thing. You're like, hey, brother, man, don't do that. And I can totally see you doing that. And part of that's because I used to be an audio engineer 20 years ago. I worked with voice talent, and your voice, every time I hear it on TV right now, I automatically jumped to like, man, he should be doing voiceover work or doing his own accounts animation studio or something like that.
I love the idea. I love the idea. Sell me, brother. Sell me. Get me a gig doing that. I'm more than happy to sit there and voice. And it's funny too because you don't think of that when it's yourself, but that gets me busted a lot in public. Is the voice, I didn't realize that the voice is that different, but people do recognize the voice. I'll be somewhere and just talking to somebody, and somebody would turn around and go, "I thought that was you," because they hear the voice. And so yeah, man, hook me up with Pixar. Let's do something.
I'll get on that and let you know.
All right, I'm in.
Hey, so we've got about 4 minutes left, and okay. I want to know. So there's got to be tons of people out there that they watch the show, and maybe they're a budding mechanic. They're doing things out of their home. They could be a budding musician, businessman, businesswoman. What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's starting out, trying to make their way in this world in terms of like what you've done, because you've done multi things on different levels?
That's a very good question, and I honestly think that if you're going to step out on your own and you're going to try and do something yourself, starting your own business, starting your own shop, whatever it may be, make sure that it is something that you truly love, because you're going to spend a lot of time doing it. You got to be dedicated to it. There's a lot of highs and a lot of lows and challenges along the way. And if it's something that you're not truly passionate about, it can suffer. So I would say make sure you pursue something that you truly love and that you're truly passionate about, because it's going to take up a lot of your time. But if you do it that way, if it is something that you love, you're going to do it great. And that's the key, because you got to be the best at what you can be. And once you're able to do that, man, then I believe it'll take off for you.
Very well said. Really sound advice. And I'm kind of finding the same thing amongst all the guests that I talk to about, if you're going to do it, be passionate about it, give it 110%. Yep. And also understand that, like you said, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, but that passion and drive will keep you going because you love it so much. Because if you don't love it, it's going to weed you out really quick.
Amen. We live in the greatest nation on the planet. This is truly a nation of opportunities. So you can be whatever you want to be. You can make something of yourself, but just like you were just saying, you're passionate about it, dedicated to it, and you can do it. You can do it. And so that's my advice.
Awesome. Danny, I could talk to you for like 2 hours.
I appreciate it. Let's do this again, Mark. We can do this whenever you want, man. I'm here for you.
Hey, that sounds good, man. I'll definitely take you up on that, because I got so many other things I could be talking to you about. I want to make sure we get a chance to show your promo for Counting Cars. So, sir, it was so wonderful talking to you again.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, stay safe down there, and please, let's see things on the other end of it. Maybe I'll see you back up here in Seattle sometime, and we can rock out again.
Amen, brother. Amen. Everybody tune in. Thank you, Mark. Everybody tune in. Counting Cars is on the air. History, Wednesdays at 10. Tonight at 10 o'clock. Tune in. Mark, you rock. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You got it, brother. Peace.
Danny is back.
Oh, my Lord. That's gorgeous.
With more cool cars. This is a bad. Really big spot. More custom jobs.
It's quite the challenge.
We're going to make this thing rock.
More amazing reveals.
Bring it out, baby.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
And even more Danny.
I love these cars. This thing's going to be wicked.
Counting Cars. New season premieres Wednesday, June 3rd at 10 on History.